Negotiating tips for making an offer. I love negotiating. Negotiating is like my boxing arena, but like they don't know they're boxing with me. I absolutely, it's a game to me. I try to do as well as I possibly can on it. And when I have that type of mentality over a career of 10, 15, 20 years of buying properties, even if you save $1,000 on each property, it adds up to massive amounts over your career. So negotiating tips for making an offer, there's probably 100. Some of my favorite negotiating tips are I will go in and I'll just do a wish list offer. I know it drives us agents sometimes crazy when that happens, but I'll come in and I'll ask for everything. And I try to flush out the things that aren't valuable to them and find out what is valuable to me. A lot of times too, a tip for negotiating is when you're about to buy something yourself, you guys, before you ever get into negotiating, so you don't get sucked into emotion, write down on a piece of paper the most you're willing to pay based on the numbers of the deal, and then start way behind that number and work your way up to it, and have somebody help you hold accountable, because you don't want to get caught up in the emotion of buying. That's something that happens at sheriff sales because it's a bidding process. Sometimes there's competitive nature in people and they will bid way more than they should of what makes sense. So a good tip for negotiating, write down what you're going to pay, and that's it. Because before emotion gets involved, if you want to be competitive in getting the deal, you know logically what makes sense. That's something we haven't really talked about just yet, but you guys, your relationship with fear and your relationship with your emotions is crucial to becoming a good real estate investor. If you don't have your emotions in control, really good investing is not about not having emotion. Really good investing is about having the right emotion at the right time. So I'll give you an example of what I mean by that. Fear is the thing that destroys wealth and destroys you buying anything more than anything I've ever seen before. You could become afraid, therefore you never look for it, and therefore you never see it all the way through. Write down what you're going to pay for it, bid all the way up to it, pay it. As soon as you get the property under contract, bring fear off the shelf. So I park fear. Once I get something under contract, I say, okay, fear, come back here. Show me what I'm not seeing. Show me how I'm going to get destroyed in this asset or this purchase. And they'll say, here, 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 here. And then I check off eliminating that risk in the deal. And then I take fear and I put them back on the shelf. And then I say, great, I feel good with all the things I think can go wrong with it. I'm still going to purchase the asset and move forward. But I use fear quite a bit. And sometimes even in negotiating, there's times where you should keep your energy really, really low. And there's sometimes you should use energy in negotiating as a negotiating strategy. Another favorite thing I like to do, if somebody's offering on my property and they'll say, hey, I'll pay you $200,000 for that property, I don't say a word. I don't say a word. Like I just let, until they speak again, I don't speak again. It can be 5 minutes. It can be really awkward. But it's one of my favorite things to do when somebody says, hey, I'll pay you $200,000. And I'm just quiet, don't say anything. And they will backpedal. They usually negotiate against themselves because the awkwardness does the heavy lifting in it.